Yo, what up fam? Welcome back to the channel. Before we dive in, if you're new here, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe. Trust me, you're gonna want to stick around for what's coming next.
So next thing you know, I'm in a car. I live there, but it taught me determination, man. I'm a really, really determined person. It also taught me that no matter what happens to you, it ain't over. It ain't over. Ain't no such a thing as over. As long as God wakes you up, that means he ain't through with you yet. And if he wakes you up, you got a shot to correct it.
Even if you're homeless, it's not over. You're still in the game. You just gotta strategize differently. Even celebrities, the one you look up to, have been homeless at some point. So don't feel bad if you're in the situation right now. You're still in the game. And listen, fam, the economy is tough right now, but guess what? You got options. You might think you're down and out, but you're not. You got family, you got friends, and hey, if you're Latino, you're probably got like 10 families living under your one roof. You know what I mean? Your cousins sleep in the kitchen, your uncle's in the living room, and don't even get me started on waiting for your restroom. You gotta take turns like it's a meat market in there.
I pay $18 a week to live in a tent in Yosemite National Park with my girlfriend.
I would rather be in the woods than having to pay rent every single month for the rest of my life and not actually get to live. I would rather be out here in nature where it's free, where I can do what I want.
Okay, I like this unit. How much did you say rent was?
This unit is $5,000.
Oh no, I'm renting, not buying.
I know, $5,000 for rent, not including utilities.
Is it?
If I had to do this all over again, I was still gonna choose to be homeless. I got the freedom to be anywhere I want, when I want. I live for free. I still got all the necessities of life. A shower, a toilet, food, a stove, fridge. I can spend my money on whatever I want. Wake up with the freedom of knowing that my money is going to what I want it to, not what it has to be going to. A lot of people don't realize that they stress in life because they make things more complicated than they are. When you learn to look at things for what they are instead of what you want them to be, you learn how to navigate. I picked my main things that made me happy and what I needed, and that's where I'm at. Happiness.
Because some people are choosing to be homeless on purpose. Yeah, you heard me. Because it's simpler, it's less stressful. Think about it. We work our butts off, pay our bills, and then what? We're stuck in the same routine day after day, barely having enough time to breathe, no money to do the things we actually enjoy. And I get it. Everyone's feeling the weight of it all. The mental stress, the burnout, it's real, man.
Mum's rental property, that just makes sense, you know?
So firstly, we've got this section of the house. This is the 4th bedroom, as the real estate called it. But the problem is, you can just, I could literally almost fit in here. So that's number 1. And then number 2, I love an accessible property, but I do love how these windows are just, material. Then we've got the front door that doesn't actually close. So, joy. So really this is just a storage area.
I feel like one of the ways that people enter homelessness that isn't talked about enough is when you have already gone through the process of finding an affordable place to rent and you're living there, and then your landlord sells the home to another landlord. That landlord comes, buys the home, does nothing to it, and then ups the price and prices you out of your home that you're already living in. That happens all the fucking time. Like, you could literally have done all the work, made sure you found a spot that you could afford, was in your price range, wasn't extravagant or whatever people say about us who don't have enough money. Like, the people that you rent from can literally just sell your house to somebody else, and that other person can start charging way more for the same exact thing, and you cannot afford it, and you could be out of a house.
You ever looked at like a homeless person and be like, damn, bro, I wonder how you got in that position? Because, some people are homeless because they just can't make it in life. They couldn't afford it. Then you got people on the other hand who's homeless by choice, bro. And for those who homeless by choice, my theory is they tried it, bro. They tried the 9 to 5. They tried the legal way. They tried the illegal way of making money. They tried all the options out there. They even tried to be entrepreneurs, and they was like, you know what? It ain't worth it. This life shit ain't it. It ain't it. and they just became homeless. That's my theory. I really believe they did that. I said it because, like, you ever try to offer a homeless person money and they be like, oh, no, young blood, I'm good. I'm all right. I'm going to be all right. Bro, it's $20. Bro, you homeless. You need this to eat, bro. You trying to tell me you too good for this 20? Like, I always thought of why they say no. It's because they got money. They just choose not to live life like us, bro. They just in a whole different world, a whole different realm, a whole different space. Like, I swear they in the future. We try and play catch up.
So don't feel bad if you're struggling right now. You're not alone. You can make it through. Because what's the alternative? Giving up? No way. We're just shifting our mindset here. We're just gonna accept the grind as the only option. We're gonna find a way to make it work. Simpler, smarter, and stress-free. So stick around because I'm about to break down some tips, use some motivation, and remind you that you got this. And by the way, subscribe and like if you're ready to shift your mindset and take control of your life.
I'm 100% gonna be homeless, and it's guaranteed. So in my state, Utah, the average rent is about like $2,000. Pretty reasonable, right? But then I realized, holy crap, this van costs 15 grand. Would I be considered homeless? Yes. But will I at least own it? Yes. And that's the most important thing. Owning something. Instead of just giving all my money away to a place that's literally garbage. Would you live the van life?
I just got denied an apartment rental application because my rent to income ratio was too low. But how does that make sense when every job in this town pays around what I make and every apartment is around as expensive as that one? Like, what's a guy supposed to do? Am I fucked? Am I actually soft locked? I can't make more money. There are no cheaper apartments. That is the ratio. The ratio is set. If that's a deal breaker, I'm gonna be living in my car indefinitely. Like, so that's been my day.
Y'all doing it really? Why did y'all choose to live like that? It gets tiring, bro, going to work every single day and giving your whole day to somebody else. You ain't got no time to do nothing you want to do. Tired of paying bills, bro.
The Matrix sucks. Who wants to live in the Matrix? Pretend to be somebody. Pretend to be something that we not. Want to live off. Want to be inspired by these celebrities. They don't got shit for real to offer.
Exactly, the Matrix.
These niggas are spiritually dead. You don't want to realize that because a lot of niggas realize till too late.
That's a fact. It's best to live off the grid, bro. Focus on yourself. It's hard to focus on yourself.
You worried about bills.
Worried about bills every day. How you gonna pay this? How you gonna pay that?
Worried about being seen. Having a nice car, having every pair of shoes that come out.
Alright, now that we got the motivational boost, let's break this down. The situation is real. Rent prices are climbing like they're trying to reach the moon. I mean, just look at these stats. In cities like New York, the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment is pushing $3,000 a month. And get this, over 50% of renters in the US are spending more than 30% of their income just on housing. That's supposed to be the rule for housing affordability, but honestly, it's more like the exception now. And when you add all that up, no wonder people are turning to crazy alternatives like living in their cars or choosing to live homeless. So why is this happening? Well, let's talk facts. You got inflation, high demand for housing, and wages that are staying stagnant. You can't make $15 an hour, pay $2,000 a month for a tiny apartment, and still expect to live comfortably. That's like trying to fill a bathtub with no stopper, money just pouring out faster than you can fill it. Now, don't go thinking that the only option is to keep stressing out or worse, giving up. There are options, and people are already figuring them out. You got folks who are literally downsizing their lifestyles, moving to smaller, more affordable places, sometimes out of the city altogether. And listen, this isn't just about escaping high rent, It's about shifting your mindset to a simpler way of living. You know, not everyone is meant to live in the hustle and bustle of the city. Some people are actually open for the van life or tiny house living. Think about it. You don't need a fancy penthouse to feel successful. What you need is the freedom to live life on your own terms. Imagine how much you could have saved living in a van or renting a small cabin out in the woods, somewhere peaceful where you can actually breathe. And hey, you don't even have to go to the extreme if you're not ready for it. There are also communities popping up where people are choosing intentional, affordable living. It's about finding like-minded people and supporting each other. You don't need to have a mansion to have a fulfilling life. Sometimes less really is more. Now I know what you're thinking, but I'm not ready to live off the grid yet, and that's okay. We're not saying everyone needs to go full-on survival mode, but it's about realizing there are other ways to live. The system feels broken, sometimes you got to step outside of it and make your own path. There are options, there are creative solutions, and honestly, the world's changing fast and we need to adapt.
Almost twice the federal minimum wage, and I am still thousands of dollars below the poverty line. I am homeless. I live in my car. I cannot afford to rent an apartment. I can hardly afford to live in my car. Food is expensive. And it's tough times, you know? I work 40 hours a week. I am not in an entry-level position. I am in a skilled position. I make twice the federal minimum wage. And I am poor.
I just got told that my rent is going up by $100 a week. And I live alone, and it already went up by $50 with what feels like it was 6 months ago, but I checked, it wasn't. It was 12 months ago. And I basically have 2 weeks to figure out what I'm doing. And I just don't even know what to do. Like, obviously, everyone is going through this rental crisis at the moment, but I don't understand. I swear only a few months ago they were complaining about how there's too many apartments in Brisbane. But yet, why is there not one single fucking apartment for someone who just wants to live on their own and have a car park? Why is that so impossible? And like, I checked the average salary for Brisbane, and my salary is a little bit higher than that. And even I can't find somewhere that's going to be even slightly livable after paying tax and HECS.
Right now, the U.S. economy is in a crisis, a rental crisis, a people with homes that can't afford their rent prices. Okay, so this is what's going to happen, and this is what I would recommend you guys do, okay? If you own a house, rent your house out, please. Go rent your house out and then go move into a different apartment, because I know a lot of friends that just bought their houses that are paying about $2,000, let's say $2,500 for a 2-bed home, right? That's about $200,000 to $300,000 for a house. No one else is going to pay that amount, right? So you're going to have to Airbnb it out, or you're going to have to rent the entire house out because you're no longer safe in the place that you bought your house, which is also what is happening. The people that live in Chicago, they're like, I don't want to raise my kids here. The crime is going up. What am I going to do? You got to rent it or you got to sell it, and selling it is really not an option right now. So you're going to have to rent those houses. Now, the people that are smart, for example, family members that I know are like, hey, I want to go rent an apartment. I'm like, go rent a house. There's going to be so many houses for rent. Go walk around your neighborhoods and look for houses for rent. Not only is it going to be because they no longer want to stay in the area, maybe because they don't feel safe, or if they found another option, a better investment, or it's because they are no longer able to afford it and they're like, well, I'd rather rent it out to somebody than lose my house. And so you would want to help them out too, right? So that's what you should do. You can also, instead of buying, and don't buy anything. Don't buy land. Not in the United States. Buy land outside of the United States. Go buy land in a country that you are from, or your family is from. Go invest outside of the United States of America, because all these big companies are going to invest in America, right? They're going to take all of these homes. They're going to refinance everything. They're literally, everyone that's going to lose their house. They're losing it to these banks, and they're going to buy them out. Who else is going to buy these out, right? The bank is like, who's going to pay for all these mortgages that we decided to give all these people? And now we're in a recession. Nobody has jobs. Nobody has jobs. So go rent. It's okay. Especially right now, if you're struggling, you're like, I need to let go of my house. Let go of your house. They're either going to take it away or you're going to have to let go of it slowly. You have to make these decisions and quickly, and you need to start talking to family members of what they're doing or friends, and listen to what they've done and what, get your options of what you can do. There's multiple options, but see what you could do. And if you're in the part of renting, or you're like, okay, now I'm finally going to look, because a lot of people are in the boat where they're like, okay, I've saved enough. I want to buy a house. And I'm like, please do not buy a house. Please, you might as well be renting, unless you're going to really like sell it and make money from it in the next 5 years. Do not buy a house. What realtors do you know that own a house? Riddle me that. What realtors do you know that own a house, guys?
Here's another cool fact. You don't have to be homeless to live more simply. You got the skills. You could even start working remotely. The whole digital nomad thing is growing. People are finding jobs. You can do a line from anywhere. You could be living in a van down by the beach, making money from your laptop, and still saving a ton of cash. It's not just a fantasy, it's a real life for some people. So here's the thing. If you're in a tough spot right now, don't panic. I know it's hard, I really do. But the key is to adapt, be resourceful, and shift that mindset. Instead of seeing the struggle as a dead end, see it as an opportunity to rethink everything. The world's not against you, but you got to take control and start playing the game differently. And remember, this isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. You gotta take time to make things happen. Just because your bank account looks like it's zero right now, doesn't mean you won't be making moves soon. There's no shame in simplifying your life. Some of the happiest people I know don't have the most money, but they have peace, freedom, and time. And that's worth way more than expensive rent payment every month. Alright, we covered a lot of ground today, and I want to leave you with this. No matter how tough things get, giving up is never an option. Not now, now ever. So you're facing tough choices, higher rent, less income, and more stress. But guess what? You have the power to change your situation. Yes, even now. And it starts with one thing, shifting your mindset. You see, success isn't just about where you live or how much you make. It's about how you adapt and how you keep moving forward. Steve Harvey said it best. You're still in the game. Even if you're facing homelessness or struggling with rent, you're not out, not yet. You just need a new strategy, a new way of thinking, and once you change that, everything changes. So here's your call to action. Shift your mindset. Start today. Think about your next step and just take it. Life's gonna throw challenges your way. You got everything you need to overcome them. Remember, this is your life, and you get to write the story. Don't let anyone else tell you what or how it should go. It's all up to you. So go out there, take control, and let's make this impossible possible. Subscribe, like this video, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any more motivation tips, ideas on how to live your best life. No matter what, keep your head up, stay motivated, and shift your mindset to achieve greatness. You got this.